Graduation season is here, and we hope you're super excited for whatever comes next. But if you've got some nervous jitters about your first job after graduation, you're not alone. I mean, that first job is make or break. It basically determines your worth as a person, right? We're here to tell you otherwise. Hey, I'm Carla, and welcome back to our channel. Here at Road Trip Nation, we're all about encouraging you to find a career that really fits you. But we're also realistic. We know that sometimes you have to take a job that's not necessarily your dream job. It happens to a lot of us, especially after graduation. So if you're less than excited about your first day of work, you're not alone. And it's definitely not the end of the world. This is just the beginning of your story. We know because we've talked to tons of people who took very meandering paths after school. And their stories prove that your first job after graduation doesn't have to define the rest of your life. When Elizabeth Clay Roy graduated college with a degree in urban studies, she was ready to change the world. But her first job was on a much smaller scale, helping people pick the best concrete for their sidewalks. Concrete was something she knew nothing about, so you can imagine the first day jitters were real. But fast forward to today, and she'll tell you that job laid the foundation for the amazing community work she's doing now.
I would never have said, like, what I want to be when I grow up is, someone who helps communities identify the best concrete for their sidewalk. Like, that wasn't part of my scope, right? But as I began to do it, I felt so passionate. I mean, I woke up every morning and was like excited about doing that.
What can we learn from her story? Give your first job a shot. Don't shut down just because you're not exactly where you thought you'd be, because everyone has to start somewhere. That's why it's called entry level. And even if your starting point doesn't feel like a good fit, there's always something to be learned from your first job.
I learned when I graduated from school that I did not like sitting at a computer all day. So it didn't matter what I was doing at the computer, I just needed to be with people some, right? I needed to be out and about, talking to people, be in groups, problem solving, etc. So you should think about that. Like, what do you want your life to look like? Work's not everything. It's just a small part of what you do. So what are the other things that are going to be fulfilling to you?
Here's our assignment for you as you start your first job. Keep track of the things that really bring you joy at work and the things that make you want to pull your hair out. No one loves every aspect of their job, so if there's something that's just not clicking, that's natural, but you should make note of it. Take this as a chance to learn about how you like to work. That way, even if your first job's a dud, your next step can be towards something more fulfilling. You just spent years of your life building up your knowledge and skills in school. And the good news is, those skills will stay with you throughout your entire career. But your interests might change and evolve, and that means your career might change too. You can and should get tugged in new directions as you have new experiences and find new things you care about. Who knows, you may even end up creating a career that didn't previously exist.
Whatever you do isn't going to define what you are and what the rest of your life is going to be. For the first 10 years of my career, I was doing something completely different than what I'm doing now. I didn't even find out that I was into woodworking until I was 30. Didn't start a YouTube channel until I was 36. And now I'm doing a career that didn't exist when I was 25. So, I mean, you don't know what path you're gonna end up on, but do things that interest you. But like, if you have to do something that doesn't interest you initially to pay the bills so that you can pursue something that interests you, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're a sellout and that that's gonna be the rest of your life. There's plenty of opportunities for you to like find whatever that path that you want to be on is and to have success with.
Remember, no matter what you studied or where you start, you're never locked into a career path. Whenever you feel like you need to make a radical change, you can do that, whether it's right after your first job or years down the line after you've picked up a few more skills and experiences. All you have to do is overcome any doubts or fears about shifting paths, and then take a leap towards what moves you.
It's so funny to me when people are sort of asking like, oh, well, what's your major? And like, what are you gonna do with that major? Because I feel like the people who ask those questions were sold on this lie of like, when you when you pick a major in college, you're definitely going to go along a specific career path. Most of the people I've seen haven't gone through that. And I started off with dance choreography and then somehow made it to contract management in government aerospace.
It's about knowing what you're committed to and knowing that whatever you choose, it isn't the end of the world. Okay, I used to be afraid, if I go left, I gotta go left forever. If I go right, if I choose English, I gotta go, that's it, that's my life. It doesn't work that way. I believe that life is about finding yourself. And if you choose right now that you're excited about something, and 2 years later, you're not excited about it anymore, it doesn't matter. You can either go back to school if you wanted, you can find other things. So much of these constructs in life are that this is your lane and this is how society's been. You're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a doctor. There's no changing your mind. Life is about and. How can you have what you want and what else you want, right? How can I have a business and travel the world? How can I, whatever it is, what drives me is the ability of experiencing life at its fullest.
Okay, hopefully now you're feeling a little more confident about starting your first job. And you should feel confident. I mean, you just made it through something huge. You graduated. You can basically go anywhere from here. This first step doesn't have to define the rest of your path, so don't sweat it. If you're feeling ready to tackle your first job after graduation, but still want to explore what else is out there, subscribe to our channel to learn more about how you can keep defining your own career path.